What is going on, guys? Teriyaki back here with another video. As you guys can tell, we are back in a game that I haven't played on the channel in a pretty decent amount of time now. I don't know the exact time frame, but I definitely know it's a decent amount of time. That's because I started more focusing on Let's Play stuff, which that's still going to be kind of the focus of this channel. That is also why I'm bringing this back a little bit, because it is going to be kind of a Let's Play, but more of a 3 to 4 year long kind of let's play thing. But yeah, just to get into a little updates right now, specifically for the channel, even though the video is mostly going to be about what's in the background. Um, so every Monday now we got episodes coming out for Tom Clancy's Division. So every Monday that game will be, or videos will be uploaded for that every Monday until that game is done. Then we'll switch from Division to Division 2. And then there's also rumors of a Division 3 coming out. So we'll end up basically every Monday just switching from the Division to the Division 2. And then when Division 3 comes out, we'll do Division 3. So if Division 2 finishes before we get to Division 3, Mondays will probably free up, and I'll probably start another Let's Play until Division 3 comes out for that. For Wednesdays, we have Dead Island 2 right now. So we're going to finish up Dead Island 2. I think I'm not sure how much longer I have left on Dead Island 2. It feels like I'm getting close to the end. As of right now, of this specific video recording, it's May 1st. There's a reason why I'm making the background video. I'll tell you, I'll get to it after these updates. I believe episode 15 or 16 is out right now as of making this video, and I'm on currently recorded 23 or 24 videos at this point. And when Dead Island 2 is done, I'll be switching that up to the original Dead Island. It'll be the definitive version of Dead Island this time. And then when Dead Island finishes, all right, sorry about that little cutout. Had to deal with something real quick. But as I was saying, when Dead Island 2 finishes for Wednesday, we'll switch to Dead Island Definitive Edition. When the Definitive Edition finishes, we'll switch to Riptide. Definitive Edition and Riptide will probably be playing the same character throughout both of those games, because that game, you basically import your character from Dead Island into Riptide, and then you can play through Riptide, and then that's where Dead Island 2 technically comes into the storyline, or into like into like the main storylines go. Riptide on Benoi, or no, not Riptide. Dead Island on Benoi, Riptide. I forget exactly what island it was on, and then from that island you go to. By the end of it, it's in San Francisco, in the end cutscene, and that's kind of where Dead Island 2 comes into play. But Dead Island 2 is completely different characters, as you guys know already. But in Dead Island Riptide, you can play as any of the original characters from Dead Island 1. And then you can, there's one extra character that they added in Riptide, which is, if I do a second playthrough of Riptide, I'll probably play as that specific character. And then there's also Escape Dead Island, which I will probably end up playing that as well. And then that'll be for like every Wednesday. And once all the Dead Island games are done, I'll try and find another game to play on Wednesdays. But from this point on, which is where we get into this specific video, every Friday I'm going to try and do a weekly update on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, specifically the new account that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be, as of right now, I have 2 accounts that I currently play on like consistently. And then I'm going to be making this account my strictly free to play, because I'm not sure if you guys know, or if you even watched the one of the last videos, or even if I updated you guys or not. My Cheese Fan Han account is not technically free to play anymore, even though I could still consider it free to play. I call it my 99.9% free to play account. I don't play on that account as much anymore, by the way. It's like maybe once in a blue moon as of right now. But the reason why I call it the 99.9% free to play is because I bought the Wat Tambor and the um, Ki-Adi Mundi Lightspeed bundles. Those are the only Lightspeed bundles that I bought. Other than that, the account has been strictly free to play. But the account that I will be making on May 4th, I don't know if the first video for that specific account will come out on May 4th because that is a work day. But May 4th, I will be starting a new account, completely free to play. It's got a at least a 3 to 4 year probably planned out farm plan right now. Well, semi planned out. It's not like fully planned out of like everything that I'm going to be building. Like it's just like the basic of I'm going to farm this to get to this. This will get me here, and so on and so forth. I don't know the name of the account yet, so you guys are gonna have to wait for when I make the account. But I am going to be starting in a guild that I used to lead because, in my opinion, it is the best starter guild out there that you can get into as of right now. It's got at least a 90% territory war win rate. It's got um I believe they're doing Naboo still. If they're not, they're down to doing the speeder bike raid. Um, they're doing dark side Geo and currently light side Geo right now. I wish they would go back to light side Hoth, mostly for the so I can get my um Rolo shards, which if you guys don't know what Rolo is, that's Rebel Officer Leia Organa shards. But I'm not gonna force them to go back to that just for like one person. So I will like put my money where my mouth is and just buy her from the guild shop store, which I will show you guys where that is at right now technically. So the guild activities, I will be buying her from here, which is right in this area. Hopefully you guys can see that on screen because I know I put my screen to where it's only when I'm in a battle, it just shows the characters in the battle. So I don't know if you guys can see the Rebel Officer Leia Organa, but if you guys can't, there's the Hermit Yoda, Wampa, and then Rebel Officer Leia Organa. But we'll be farming Hermit Yoda, Wampa, Rolo, and Imperial Probe Droid. Anyways, this one's gonna be more of like a every once in a blue moon farm, but the main three are gonna be these three right here. And then we're obviously going to be picking up the credits as much as possible. I'm not worried about picking up the credits on this account currently. Well, actually, I probably should right now, just because it is a daily refresh. But this account that I'm on right now to show my kind of brainstormed farm plan is my OG account, which is an account that I haven't played on in a long time. So it's kind of like behind in a lot of things. So and it also had the most room for me to actually be able to put down these teams in its own tab. So we're gonna get right into it. This is it already opened right up to the tab that we're on. This isn't in necessarily the right order of importance that I'm gonna be prioritizing things. But our main guild focus will be Gear 12 Geos for Wat Tambor Shard. And then our main focus is Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Master Qui-Gon, so we can do the Duel of Fates, get them to R7 because that's the best return of investment you can get for relic materials and other stuff. I have Keller and Beck, Jedi Knight Anakin, and Mace Windu here as a full team because that'll also do a at least a challenge tier 1 Jedi assault battle. I forget the name of the exact assault battle. But we have DOF here for Duel of Fates, which is these two. And then the rest of them is for the assault battles. This is also going to be a pretty decent territory war team because of Keller and Beck in general. We're also going to be focusing, even though this team will probably be somewhat different than what it shows right here. This is technically the end goal team for the Places of Power assault battle, but we'll probably have Palpatine, Vader, Traya, Savage, and one of these three. And then Imperial Troopers can do 2 assault battles. I just don't remember both the assault battles names, kind of like the Jedi one. I don't remember the Jedi one fully, or the 2 that they can do. I think it's I'm not sure if it's Forest Moon, but they can do one of the other ones that I believe Sith can do too, because I think Sith can do 2 of them as well. I can't, like I said, I can't remember the fully because I don't pay attention to the assault battles that much anymore. But Imperial Troopers will be at least Gear 12. Most of these teams will be at least 2 Gear 12. Beck, Padawan. Oh, sorry for that cutout again. Animals jumping on things they shouldn't be jumping on and causing excess noise from my microphone. Sorry. But as I was saying, or hopefully as I was saying before all that, most of the teams that we're going to be working on is going to be Gear 12, except for these 3. Technically, these 5 will end up going into relics. These 2 I'm not really going to focus on too much besides getting them to Gear 12 for this team, but these 3 will end up going to Relic 7, but these 2 will be hopefully the first relics that we do, or at least one of the first 3 relic people we do. Gear 12, obviously. Piet will have to go up to Relic 8 eventually. Some more exec stuff, but this is a different bounty hunter team. I put Zam here and Finnick just because Zam just makes the team a lot better, in my opinion, with her Omicron. And then obviously these 2 are for the Beskar Mando, or as a lot of people like to call BAM requirements. And Finnick is technically, I believe she's a Jabba requirement. And then Bosk is also an executor requirement. And then all of these technically lead into where we're heading for our first year-ish of gameplay anyways. And then this one is going to be for CLS, is going to be for military might, Jedi Knight Luke requirements, Jabba the Hutt requirements, and Leia requirements. And then instead of going for Phoenix, which is why I have Imp Troopers up here, we're going for Night Sisters for Secrets and Shadows, because they can even though we're focusing on challenge tier 1 for assault battles, they can go up to challenge tier 3 and actually 3-star challenge tier 3. We also got some more Executor Rex down here. Put Piet down here again, but I did add Dangar. I forgot to add TIE Fighter Pilot and a couple of others, but there are a few others that we need to add. Then we have our Ewoks for C3PO. I think this is the best Ewok team to use to go for C3PO currently. Yes, Nisa is on a later farm. Yes, Wicket is on a later hard node farm as well. But this is going to be the best bang for your buck team. I don't think you would need the Zeta with Chirpa if you have Nisa, but if you guys feel like you need the Zeta, go ahead and get the Zeta. But I know I'm going to try it without the Zeta. I'm going to try all of them Gear 11 without Chief Chirpa Zeta. If I can't do it then I'll apply the Zeta and then do it at that point. And just an extra couple of extra teams to, or one extra team to farm that we'll be doing just for a team in general, because this leads into one of our first big farms. Momo, Mon Mothma, Kyle Katarn, Hoth Rebel Scout Pow, and Biggs is kind of mandatory for a future farm as well. But Kyle is mandatory for our first big-ish farm aside from CLS, which is Star Killer. So just build a team around Kyle with Mon Mothma and then the rest of these. And then we're going to work on Bo-Katan Mandalore requirements, which is why we need Beck at Relic 7, Beskar Mando at Relic 7, IG-12 and Grogu at Relic 7, Paz Vizsla at Relic 7, and that once we do the event, that'll unlock Bo-Katan Mandalore, aka BKM, and we'll probably take her up to Relic 8s. Some more Jedi Knight Luke Rex, and then throwing Santa as the leader for the team. Kara's not really a Rex, she's more of a Rex for BAM, but she can be slotted in the Sana team. We'll take Stormtrooper Han up to Gear 12 at this point, and then these 2, he's going to be a Cantina farm, so he's going to come later. but we'll end up taking them up to gear 12. Kara up to gear 12 from whatever gear level we put her at for the Beskar Mando event, and then Sana will take up to gear 12. We'll probably end up taking them up higher than that eventually, but for now, gear 12. And then Dash Rendar, another requirement for um, Star Killer, which also reminds me, coming back up here, Dark Talon is another requirement for Star Killer, so there's that. And then Dash can technically lead his own team in a way. You can put IG 11 and Quill on his team, plus two other scoundrels, and you should be good to go with a Dash Rendar team. And that's when I put Star Killer at any point, because the only other character you have left to farm after that is Mara Jade, and she's a hard node farm, and we're more than likely already farming her, but she's not listed in any of the teams currently. But at that point, she's going to be for the Star Killer team in general, because that'll be Emperor Palpatine, Mara Jade, and Star Killer. Those are the three main people for that team. And then we'll end up going into Jabba at that point, which is right around the 1 year ish mark, because before we go into Jabba, as I said, so I go back a little bit. So we have three big-ish farms that we're going to in our first year. Four, if you want to include Stark or CLS. So we got CLS, we got Executor, we got Star Killer, and then Jabba. So that should be our like first year. That's like our projected first year ish farm for this account as a fully free to play account. After that, it's going to be JML and then Leia and then Profundity, because we're locked out of getting the requirements we need for Leviathan at this point, because we need a proving grounds at this point, and we're not going to have all the characters we need for proving grounds to get Malgus. So we're locked out of going for Leviathan as our secondary big fleet. But continuing on, this is where a lot of the other big. I don't consider myself a big Swgoh YouTuber or anything, or content creator like that. But this is where a lot of the bigger content creators have a mistake in their farm plans when they go into talking about going into JML, is they leave out the fact that you need to farm two other specific factions just to get a character you need to R7 for JML. So you need to farm First Order. I recommend these five because they are, all five of them are store farms, except for Crew. Kylo Ren Unmasked, he's a Cantina farm, and his ship is along with him. So other than that, I recommend these four. The other four, Phasma, regular Kylo Ren, First Order Officer, and SF TIE Pilot, they're all store farms. So they're easy 7 stars. Take them all up to 7 stars, take them up to gear 9 or 10, unlock BB-8. Then as you're doing the unlock for BB-8, or even at this point, you can probably be farming both First Order and Resistance. Farm your Finn, farm your Veteran Smuggler Han, Veteran Smuggler Chewie. They're both on the same Cantina node, so that's 2 for 1 right there. Rey Scavenger's an early farm, but you can also pick her up from the store. Same with Finn. So Rey and Finn pick up from the stores, which is a guild store, same store that Rolo was in. And then once you get them up to 7 stars, take them up to gear 9 or 10. Then you unlock Jedi Training Rey, or Rey Jedi Training as the game calls it, and take her up to Relic 7. And then at that point, we're going to be coming into Jedi Knight Revan, take his requirements up to gear 9 or 10 as well. I would say take maybe Bastilla up to gear 12 and Jolie Bendu up to gear 12, because that makes the event a lot easier. These three can be at gear 8, 9, or 10 at that point, as long as they're 7 stars, got most of their Omegas on them and everything. You'll probably need Jolie's Zeta. You won't need any of hers, and you won't need any of their Zetas. And that'll give you Jedi Knight Revan. Then we'll go into Jedi Knight Cal Kestis Rex, take all these up to gear 12. and that should unlock a Jedi Knight Cal Kestis for you, and that gives us the best Jedi Master Luke team that you can get at that point. And then I didn't list all the requirements, but there are a few more requirements for Leia requirements. He'll he will probably be on our first rendition of a Leia team. Um, Scout Trooper, you can honestly probably end up placing on the Imperial Trooper team. You can replace him with like Piet, because Piet will probably end up going somewhere else at some point. And then we'll have our Profundity Rex. Not all the Profundity Rex are listed, but most of them we've already farmed or very close to finishing. So it's just these three at this point. These two you can get from the stores, Hard Node Farm for Admiral Radis, and then we'll have Zepho. So now that we're here at the Zepho point, this gives us Bo-Katan Mandalore and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis for the Mandalore unlock and the Zepho unlock, so we can get into a rogue guild. I'm pretty sure by the time we get into, or by the time we unlock BKM, we can technically already get into a rogue guild. One thing I do want to say is the Inquisitors are not on this specific path to farm. They're probably going to be after we unlock Profundity and all that stuff. But by this point, where the Jedi Knight Luke is, that should be the 2 year ish mark, maybe even less than 2 years. That might be 1 3/4 of 3/4 into the second year. Leia is going to probably take us to that 3rd year mark, because of some of her requirements still aren't fully accelerated yet. I think there's a couple of them that are still not accelerated yet. Actually, no, there might be. Is he accelerated yet? Okay, so yes, he's accelerated. You guys can't see it on the thing because it cuts it off slightly, but Scout Trooper is accelerated. So all of her stuff should be accelerated. So that should take us up to 2.5-ish years now at that point. And then what would take us the rest of the way to the 3 year mark would be our Proving Grounds targets, which is Terran Malicos, Luthen Real, Darth Bane, and Darth Malgus. Darth Malgus will eventually lead us into going into Leviathan, which Leviathan would be like about the 4 year mark. That's why I say this account is, or this plan is like a 3 to 4 year long thing. So every Friday, expect an update video every Friday, even if it's a small update or if I'm just doing random videos. But yeah, this is just a quick overview of in-game overview of everything that I plan on going for. Another video I might do is like a more in-depth video, like how I was doing with the CFH one, the Chiefs Fan Han one. Go with a more in-depth video of doing like a Google what the hell is that thing called? It's not Sheets, but it's the almost like a Google Slides. I know that's what it's called, but it's like a slideshow type thing. We'll do something like that for like a more in-depth video. But other than that, that is basically going to be it for updates for the my YouTube channel and what the plan is so far, and the brainstormed idea for the new account that I will be starting in about 3 days. So expect the first video either the day of the 4th or the day after the 4th. It just depends. I don't know. I don't plan on making those the videos for these too long, maybe 15-20 minutes, if that. And I'll probably have to speed up some things. Like I plan on speeding up the beginning part of the video, or like the beginning part of the account creation, where you go through like it has you go do certain things and it forces you to do certain things. And I'll I'll speed up the video through all that, and then when I can finally do like more of the free roaming stuff, that's when I'll stop doing like all the speed up stuff. But anyways, that is gonna be it for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and catch y'all in the next one.